Hello again, welcome along to another battle report. It's Lord of the Rings and it's Mordor versus Harad. As it's still the 350 point mini tournament I was playing up at my club. And this is on, I think it's game 3 we're on to now. The mission is, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the night fight one. So there's no shooting over range 12, but any shooting that is done is +1 to wound. This is kind of good for me in a sense. This was a matchup versus like Morannon orcs, so being all strength 4 is terrifying, especially with my army's defense 4, so they'll be wounding me really easily. But their main bonus is the heavy armor, and then with a +1 to wound, I'm actually winning these guys on 5s with my bows. So if I can get some good short range firepower going here, I think I've scared the hell out of these Morannon orcs. So my opponent's force, you can see here, it's pretty much all Morannon orcs. There are 2 warbands there. Just beside the banner there, you're actually going to see, I think it's Gorbag, the special named character orc. He's got an ability when he's outnumbered, his fight goes up. And I'm trying to spot the Morannon captain. There's an orc captain. I think he's also in the back row next to the spearman. I think that might be the Morannon orc captain. So there's 2 warbands there, and yeah, it's a very strong and brutal force. So my force, yeah, you've seen it before. This is my foot side of it. My Sharon, who is my leader, a bunch of bowmen, a banner, and a couple of spearmen. And on the left-hand side is my flanking cavalry force of a chieftain and 4 raiders. They just have the war spear, no bows or anything. Though my chieftain does. So, as ever with my plan in the first turn, it's a divide and conquer. I'm going to send my cavalry up just to harass the flank, just to get some threat there. With my chieftain, who's got the fight 4, can actually win some combats, and being strength 4 with a lance, 3 attacks, he can really do some damage on these Morannon orcs. So they've got to be careful of that. Having no shooting, they've got no way of resisting it. They're just going to have to put up a pike wall and hope for the best. My archers and foot troops just move up. They're going to try and get within 12, plink some shots off, and try and get some damage there so I don't have to suffer from the combat. Round 2, I should say here, he's starting to fill in that little gap there, putting his warriors forwards, ready to soak up any charge I want to bring in from my cavalry, which is fine because that's a lot of manpower over there taking on that small amount of cavalry, but I understand why he's doing it. Down the bottom, my archers just move up into position and hopefully get as quickly as I can within range of 12 to get some shots off there. And we just move again. Again, I think my opponent's a bit unsure. Yeah, so as I said, I can just stand here and shoot now, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take as long as I can. I can just pressure him into coming to me. He pretty much knows that there's no chance of him forcing me to go to him. All I would have is strength 4 and stupid armour. So yes, I'm just going to plink away and kill as many as I can and take my time with it. In the end, he's going to have to go for my foot troops because he's never going to catch my cav. So we'll see what he does. So on the other side, my chieftain just moves up, and this is just take some shots at the guys. He's got a bow, so he may as well. I just get the other guys back just in case something silly happens, like he makes a move up and I fail to get out of the way. If I lose a chieftain, it's not so bad. Losing all my Harad raiders would be a problem because they're great for, as already see, just harassing and putting pressure on flanks of the enemy. So the Mordor decides that, yep, they're going to have to take on my infantry and start making their way down this little bottleneck, which is perfect, because that's just going to slow them down just that little bit more and give me more time to put some shots on them. And although my other guys don't shoot too many, my Sharon actually managed to put a wound on the chieftain, and that's with a blowpipe of all things. A +1 to wound coming in nicely here. And yeah, actually this guy's defense 7, so yeah, I was quite impressed with that and felt good it got through. So as you can see in the following turn, yeah, they managed to come through now. They're starting to face off. I haven't moved back. I want to get as many shots as I can on, as accurate as I can. He moved up to me, so I was going to counter with my Hasharin with that spear sport. That's 4 attacks, so I should be able to take one of these guys down, just reduce their numbers, because at the end of the day, they're only courage 2, so if I can break them, get rid of their leaders, that'll be a lot of running Morannon orcs, which is all good for me. So in the shrink phase, yep, I managed to get another one. So that's 1 fewer strength for close combat attack, and the odds are evening out, which I'm quite happy with. And my Hasharan does exactly what he's great for and kills off one of these guys. I mean, he's strength 4, so he's wounding on 5s, and I get reroll failed wounds, so he should be able to take on one-on-one orc quite easily. And here it goes. Everybody is thrown in. I try and engage as many as I can, try and surround as many as I can. As you see there, I used my rages to come around the bottom end there, just to support and coming on this flank. Their extra attack and ability to knock models over should help me get through that horrible strength, defense 6 armor. With their lance as well, they're at +1 to wound. As you see in the background there, Gorbad has also decided to turn up and come down to the fight down here. Might points, I don't think many. Oh, that's why they got so close so quick. They did a heroic march, which I should mention. That's why they moved up into my face so rapidly. So I just stuck everyone in and hopefully get some sensible combat. My opponent decided to leave this little corridor here, just guarded by only 5 Moran and Orcs. So this is my time for my chieftain to run in with his fight 4, multiple attacks. Or if I could get a 6, that'd be ideal. I could knock these guys down, wounding them on 4s because I'm strength 4 and I have a lance, or war spear. So that's a really good way of breaking through this side here. And I charge in with one other Raider as well. The other one's just back there ready to do some counter charging if necessary for the next round. So hats off to my chieftain who managed to kill 2 for 2 on those guys. Unfortunately, my other guy lost the combat and was pushed back, but luckily wasn't killed. In fact, I think the Moran Orcs are shielding, basically just try and buy time to stop my chieftain getting through. Yeah, now we get into combat, things are turning out to be a bit more tricky. I managed to kill a couple of the Moran Orcs off, and also lost a couple of Harad as well. On the top side there, where my Raider came running in, I managed to knock over and kill that one. The captain, Moranan captain, who's got the sword there with the red, I don't know, red cloth material there in the middle top of the screen. Yeah, he killed his opponent. I mean, this guy's brutally strength 5 anyway, and his fight's higher, so there's a good chance of chopping through. My Hasharan actually managed to kill off his opponent, and the spearman down below me, he also managed to kill off another Harad as well. So, yeah, things are looking interesting now into combat. And here's just an overview of how things are looking. As you see there, if I can break through the top there, I can come in behind them. Gorbag's now running back to join up with the combats down here, and it's going to get into a bit of a mess. Yes, so my opponent goes in. I think he has the initiative and runs in. That's the only downside with my Hasharan, his 1 might. He's not a great leader because I can't really change the battle movement as such, because I really want that in the fight just in case I lose something or something I really want to wound, or in this case if I want a heroic fight. You see Gorbad over there has run in and charged the cavalryman, pinned him in place, and I've charged another one in there. Just with a good chance, if I can knock him down, there's a good chance that his lance and that will kill him through. And I'm going to try and repeat the same over on this top side here with my chieftain. Just try and knock these 2 down and kill them both and have a nice little breakthrough. Oh, what a bloody mess. So my Hasharan called Heroic Fight. This is just taken for his 2nd round of combat, because I think we forgot about it because it moved again. So he kills off his first opponent and charges into his next. As you can see there, on this case, I actually lost 2 Raiders that went in against Gorbag. Yeah, he beat them and then wounded and killed both of them, which is slightly depressing. I killed off, one Moran Orc. I think the rest is all bloody Harad casualties. So now they're in combat, it is definitely turning towards the Moran Orc side. So my Hasharan, after his heroic combat and killing off the other one, charged into the banner and another Moran Orc, and he did bloody good work there and slayed them both. So yeah, he's done well for himself this turn, and that's just giving me an edge because I've got the banner now, giving me more chance of winning the combats and less likely to be speared to death by the strength 4 Morans. And this is how we are looking in the next turn for the next set of charges. Up in the top half there, yeah, my chieftain didn't actually go through. He lost the combat but wasn't slain in return. I think the opponent shielded again just to buy time. But my Raider actually won and killed his opponent off. So this time I go in and I've got both Raider and chieftain charging, so I should be able to get these guys down. My other Raider decides it's taking too long to get to that top path, and he comes back round the bottom to get a charge on Gorbad, so he's going to start sneaking it into the terrain pieces and try and get out of the fight. But yeah, so there, my chieftain did ace work, as well did my raider as well, killing off the other Moran orc. My Hasharan again killed his opponent, and I've actually lost his his Moran captain as well. So he was killed. I don't know if this combat or previous combat. I think it must have been during this combat. So I actually got one of his commanders down. But yeah, that's how the game ended, because the Morans are down to their 25%, I believe. Yes, that must be it. So, yeah, that was a really tight game, and starting to swing back into the opponent's favour there. But my Raiders, just being the few that there are, is just enough to cause enough damage that I could break through, which was great. I really liked how I used them. Mashara, even though he had 1 might, he did really well. I think him against just basic troops and that, I think is perfect. He can chop through them with the rerolls to wound. He does a lot of damage and just continually counts up the damage as well. Being unable to be surrounded or trapped is good, considering he's only defense 4. Let's say as a leader, I wouldn't really rate him. He hasn't got enough might to actually change the battle outcome. It's, yeah, I don't know, like a chieftain, Harad king would probably be better, keeps the fight 5, and still gives me 2 might to play with. But that's how the game ends, and it all looks pretty good, and it was another victory to the Harad. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Thou Ellis.